kind of sick that Hollywood uses, even though Hollywood used World War One and World War Two, World War One and Two, for such as when the soldiers got mutilated in the war, like the Frankenstein disfigurement from World War One. From the war, Hollywood used. It doesn't look like that on the TV. So that they could elevate it once they got the heat locked into the fingers of it. That is to say that I would stand on the floor of the stage and they would just Hollywood used the wars securely to when they did their horror films. The imagination that had to be applied was that, and not only was I in the band, but I had to imagine Kong, the whole thing of Kong, the whole. This one woman's talking about King Kong now. So education, seven classes, 9 classes, 8. Take one in September through December, one in May through August. May through August. Poor King Kong. James Whale was a great director. Ever since the trip I made to Africa, I took a picture of a charging rhino. 1908. Cameraman got scared. That darn fool, I was right there with him. Seems he didn't trust me to get the rhino before it got 1908, brought back from the dead. 1909, A Man with Red Hair. 1910, the silent film Dracula. The silent film of Frankenstein. Written by Mary Shelley. The first Frankenstein in 1910, a silent film, Frankenstein monster. 1910, Dracula, Frankenstein. It was a silent film, and it was a Jewish monster, Frankenstein. And they took out the Star of Solomon, the Star of David, and from the monster, Frankenstein, and it got weaker from the symbol, religious symbol being removed, and the monster wasn't as powerful without the symbol. Ray Harryhausen? A lot of the Jews used the German war and German folklore, and there's a lot of quite a few good German directors, and a lot of Hollywood. King Kong is taken out of pterodactyl. James Cameron. 1910, 1915, A Life Without a Soul. A Life Without a Soul. 1910 was the original Frankenstein. Paul Lenny, German, he did the Cat Creeps movie, and Waxworks, a German director, German writer. Karloff was actually called, and Nosferatu was in 1922. Ben-Hur, 1925, the original Ben-Hur before Charles Manson. And Karloff was Pratt, Henry Pratt. 1920, a movie, Cabinet of Del Gallinari. The Cabinet of Del Gallinari. That movie had mutilation in 1920. I think that was during the First World War. A movie, 1920, The Cabinet of Del Gallinari. A movie, 1929, Phantom of the Opera. 1927, Hunchback of Notre Dame. 1925, 1927, 1923, movie since 1908, 1909, 1910, 10. They said, for amusement and Hollywood movies, they wanted to do something that maybe, might cause a little bit of controversy or, upset or degenerate. But, that's stupid. How is that marketing? Why would you want to upset the audience?
Why do they eat? I don't eat. Why do you want to upset the audience? And they called it degenerate. Even Mystery of the Wax Museum, 1933. They say when Dracula came out, talking about immortality, portraying of characters, roles. Paul Lenny, James Williams, Quasimodo, Lon Chaney Sr.
As soon as I got a few pieces of wax off
he is like these fish hooks.
It froze me. I was so stunned to see what I saw underneath.
Put him in his mouth. It was really Lon Chaney Sr. did. It's sort of weird. It's weird.
Me to keep hitting until it was all off for the sake of the camera.
That one really scared me. When Fay Ray slapped his face and the face cracked, it was such a surprise.
Is that anything?
Talk about a surprise. I think everybody screamed and everybody went crazy. And that was a picture that gave
Carl Lemmy Jr.,
the boiling wax.
Mary Shelley, The Last Warning, Robert Florey, Jack Pierce Paris was a makeup artist.
It was the right picture to see color.
And the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the Phantom of the Opera,
Very unhappy. I think
1920s.
It's never colorized today because it's a black and white picture.
20s, the 1900s.
Directed for Universal by Edgar Ulmer. On the picture, Ulmer fell for the script girl, Shirley Kassler, and their daughter became an actress and film historian, Ariane.
My father had very definite
the old dark house, 1932.
And again, it goes back to his German background. At the time, you had an architecture that was called the Bauhaus.
The Bauhaus.
My father loved Bauhaus.
Her father loved
The
Bauhaus.
designs of that
German
apartment, that house, is definitely Bauhaus.
The Black Cat, 1934.
Plus the fact that he wanted to give it the German expressionistic
design, shadow and light.
And it was, he just had a wonderful time with it. It was one of his happiest experiences. I know that he always loved this.
Come, darling, let's go back to bed. Strong enough. It's quite been a severe shock. You must sleep.
Supposedly, and this uncle of those two brothers said, you're a disgrace to the country of Kazakhstan. They shouldn't have been there. And I agree, you know. The Dream Act's not going to happen because immigration reform, because, like I said, there are supposedly 11 million illegal immigrants in the United States of America. Either they're not documented, all of them, or we know they're illegal, but they didn't do the test. They haven't stayed here the years. They must have done something. Reasons being that, and this one guy, I don't care if you love Denver, you're a threat to me, and you bothered other people, and even one harassment one is considered a felony. And so you threatened me in 2009, 9. I'm not going to forget that. Just in case. That's it.